you just have to assess like what people are worth investing more of your time and effort in. Because
Mhm.
most of us are just going to have a few really close, wonderful relationships in our life. We're not going to have many. I think it's a huge misconception. People kind of think, I'm going to have hundreds and hundreds of really close relationships. I just haven't seen that to be the case with anybody. It's usually just a few. And sometimes you're related to them and sometimes you're not. And so you start assessing is like, well, which one's worth investing in? And then the other one's like, be cordial, be kind, just connect a little bit, but then spend the bulk of your time connecting where it really feels valuable and
Mhm.
reciprocated. And afterwards you feel fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you got a neighbor that every time you talk to that neighbor, you walk away and you have to go take a shower because you just got vomited all over all their like negativity about the whole world and all their conspiracy theories that will actually come true most of the time. But whatever, it's like they're complaining, you're like, yeah. Then that neighbor gets 5 minutes,
You
man,
just start being like, "Oh, hey."
max out. Like, I always have something in the oven. If not, I'm gonna run home and put something in the oven so I can like, I gotta go. That's what you say, you're like, "I gotta go put something in the oven." Yeah. Right now.
And
Um,
I think the point is, like, it's okay to do that.
yeah.
Sometimes we feel that out of kindness that we have to like everyone and we have to give everyone equal time. It's not true, especially when you're trying to, and this is a point we always like to emphasize. If you're trying to create an extraordinary family life, you have to spend most of your time investing in your family.
Yep.
And we see too many people who, in the goodness of their hearts, not that they're bad people, they have good hearts, they're investing everywhere else and their family gets leftovers.
Yeah, they
So
keep saying yes to everybody and everything. Even though they're like, "Hey, is that a real net benefit for your family?" "Well, no, but I felt bad, so I just said yes to this event and that event and this event and that." And like my family's just run ragged with things that aren't adding real value to our family. So be willing to say no more often. I think it was C.S. Lewis said, "People are like vegetables; you don't have to like them all." Um, so it's just pick deliberately how you want to spend your time.
mhm.
Is it worth talking for a minute about being judged?
I think it is, yes, because and I both struggle with, like, not taking it in, like, we've had conversations, like, since his family left, and we're like, "We really don't care," like, he was like, "I honestly care, like, 100 times more what Greg thinks about me than what anyone in my family thinks about me," but it's still, like, I don't know, it's, like, still painful, like, it's still, like, you still don't want them to be judging you. Anyway, that's
Mm.
my perspective.
It is,
Yeah, thanks for adding that.
yeah. In some ways, I think that that's just human nature. Like it makes no logical sense to me. And I've learned to get way better at this, but sometimes I still feel like, how dare this person on Instagram judge me? They don't even know me, right? It's like this sense of injustice. Like, you don't even know me. You judge me from 3 seconds on a reel. Like, how dare you, you know? So part of that I think is just human nature for whatever reason. I think,
Is it more feminine nature maybe?
you never feel like that?
Very, very little.
So what
Well,
would
just
be
like
your primary feeling if someone leaves some comment about like,
well, they
"You're an
do.
idiot.
They do. They're like,
You don't know
"Oh,"
anything. Just wait till your kids
the
grow up. They're gonna
they'll
hate you."
say things like, "I feel so bad for your kids. They're gonna have a horrible life. Your kids are all gonna be losers." And that's the kind of comment I'll leave, and I'm like, I just chuckle and, like, move on. Like,
But did it ever bother you?
early on when we very first started publishing things, I'm like, "How could anyone say that about me? I'm trying so hard to be a good person and a good dad, like, this is breaking me."
And so then how do you feel like you got over that so it doesn't bother you at
So,
all?
that's kinda what I was wondering if we wanted to talk about, and so I'm glad you asked that and expounded that, and I'll just share this kind of a framework to see if it's helpful for some of you. And here's what I did. I started studying the lives of really great men and women, and I was kinda naive. I thought, "Surely everybody loved the greats." You know, the greatest characters in history, like, everybody must have loved them. They were geniuses. And then you get into your books, you're like, yowzers, they were hated, like vehemently hated and attacked. I was like, wait a minute, how could anyone attack George Washington? Like, Come on. And then you find out, like, I loved studying the founding fathers of the United States. They hated each other. Oh my goodness. They were at each other's throats. It was crazy. And then Gandhi, they literally murdered him. It's like this guy was like a walking saint. Like how could you hate? And then I realized it's part of it. So then I started thinking, I'm like, well, wait a minute. If these wonderful people, even Jesus, you take Jesus as an example, like hated and murdered, like how can you hate Jesus? So then what I did mentally, I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm nowhere near that good. And they were hated. Oh, I guess no matter what I do, some people are going to judge me and not like me. So I started to reconcile that and be like, oh, they don't like me. And well, what I did is I was like, okay, maybe half the people that I associate with will like me and half won't like me. Okay. So then when it started happening, I was like, oh, yeah, I was expecting
My
that.
haters.
There's one of my haters. And it's nothing on them. It's like they just don't like me. But that's okay. I don't like everybody I meet. So I'm like, it's okay. And then it was family, and our family was judging us. But I'm like, okay, we just have different experiences. My brother for years was like, get a real job and put your kids in school. For years he told me that. And now he's like, hey, bro, can I get some business advice? And man, your kids are doing awesome stuff. And that's so great. And so now he finally quit his job and started a business, and he keeps reaching out for business advice, and he's rocking it. So, but it turns it around, but I decided not to be upset and not let it bother me. So then we got to a point, and again, maybe you progress there. Then I got to a point where I'm like, I'll just share my perspectives, knowing that they're going to judge me and maybe even be critical, but I fully expect it. I'm like, okay.
So, and this is good. And I feel like logically I understand that, and that makes sense.